I searched online forums for silly questions from tourists planning their trips to Iceland, and I'm gonna try to answer them. Hi, my name is Carl, I'm a native Icelander. I figured some of these questions must be on other people's minds, but only a few souls are brave enough to actually ask them in a public forum. And I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as silly questions, so let's take a look. I saw a YouTuber eat wild berries in Iceland. How do you know which are edible? I'm coming to Iceland with curious kids in the spring. Okay, so if you see berries in the spring, then those are probably dingleberries. Sheep don't eat that. But in the fall you will find blueberries and crowberries, and here's what they look like. You may even stumble upon some wild strawberries and stone brambles, but it's a good rule of thumb, if you don't know what it is, then don't eat it. But if you do see these in the wild, go nuts! The blueberries taste great. The crowberries, they're kind of bitter. And don't eat any of it if you find it too close to the road. Or if they're brown and smell like poo. Anyone taking their tefas or similar outdoor sandals? Tefas. I thought sandals were just for the beach or to wear at home to signal to your partner that you're not interested in sex anymore. If you plan to stand out in Iceland, then sure, bring those. Should we bring toilet paper? So this is an age-old question. Should I bring toilet paper?
70% of the world doesn't use toilet paper? Look it up.
You can buy toilet paper locally, just so we are clear. But sure, I'd recommend you bring toilet paper. The toilet paper in the rest stops around the country is usually like this piece of shit garbage. And I mean that literally. It's recycled garbage that your fingers will just rip right through, leaving you with a piece of shit on your hands. And blood somehow. Can you wear a bikini in the Blue Lagoon, or does it have to be swimsuits? So I am not an expert on many things. Swimsuits are one of those things. But I do happen to know that technically you don't need to wear anything in the Blue Lagoon. And then it's just a question of whether you get kicked out or not. You can definitely wear a bikini, and I am not sure how relaxed they are at the Blue Lagoon, but if you go to the Sky Lagoon at least, you can go completely topless. How deep is the Blue Lagoon? Non-swimmer here. Okay, so many Blue Lagoon questions. You do know it's just Instagram models snapping selfies on their bikinis with mud on their face. Wait, that doesn't sound so bad actually. But no, it's not deep. You can stand and take a selfie that includes the bikini top you're wearing without any problems. Unless you're really, really small, I guess. Mosquito and the fly kind of bugs. Are they a problem in Iceland? Well, this isn't a silly question at all. There are two places in the world where you won't find mosquitoes: Antarctica and Iceland. Scientists are unsure why, but I think it's simply because they're smart. Not the scientists, the flies. But for the last few years, this new species of flies called midges has been taking up residence in Iceland. They are so small that they are almost invisible, and they feast on you in the night. People wake up with tens or even hundreds of itchy bites. But not malaria, so that's something, I guess. Has anyone had any paranormal or otherworldly experiences while traveling in Iceland? Icelanders have long told tales of ghosts, elves, and trolls, with many of these stories rooted in pure fabrication or attempts to cover up lies, affairs, or even murders. These stories are fascinating, and you can pick up a book on Icelandic folklore in almost any tourist shop. I definitely recommend you do if you are interested. I have one on my bedside table, but you can usually find at least one story from any place you visit in Iceland. How is Iceland if you forget something? Clothes, etc. Do they have a Walmart-like store? So Iceland doesn't really change if you forget something. There is no Walmart, but the closest you can get is probably Hagkaup. They have all sorts, including clothes, and often at a lower price than other stores. There is also a Costco near Reykjavik. Anyways, I hope you found this useful and I answered some questions that you were too afraid to ask. If you want to, feel free to send me your silly questions or comment them down below, and I'll try to answer them in another segment like this. Have a great trip!